and welcome to today's ride. Today we're off to Stowe again for another pasty, and on the way we're going to try and review this camera that I've just brought and talk about the setup, how things are going, because if you watched my last video you'll know I got a little bit rained off. Anyway, come along, it'll be interesting. My right of way there. If you watched my last video, you'll remember I had a bit of an issue with my Garmin, which I thought was due to all that rain we was having. Somehow got inside it and buggered it up. Anyway, turns out it was a worldwide issue with Garmin. Lots of head units, Garmin Edge 1040 up, loads of different watches, all affected, all stuck on the start screen. So I had to completely reset my Garmin after I found out what was wrong and re-enter everything. What an absolute pain. Thanks, Garmin. Shall we talk about this new camera and why I brought it then? My main reason for looking for a new camera was I found it difficult with the 360 camera, the X3, to turn it on and off with big thick gloves on. As I've often mentioned, that tends to put me off of making the videos. I was also worried with the Insta360, mounted as I had it mounted, it did bounce about a lot on the end of that stick. Hopefully I've got some video I can show you. And I was always worried it was going to snap and fall off, and it's a lot of money to throw away. The lenses on it are delicate, you can't easily replace them. So I was on the lookout for another camera, and the DJI Osmo Action 5 seemed to fit all those criteria. It's got a nice big button on the top for turning it on and off. Turns on and off really easy. It connects via Bluetooth to a microphone, which I've got tucked up here. It's so small you can hardly see it. Amazing little microphone. That microphone's got an 11-hour battery life, by the way. Incredible. So yeah, I decided to buy the Action 5. It seemed to cover all the things I wanted it to do. But the problem's been how to mount it on the bike. I really don't like, when I'm vlogging, holding the camera on a stick like most people do, because I think that's a little bit dangerous. You also see lots of people holding the camera and riding hands-free. Crazy. One thing I can't do very well on here because of the handlebar bag, but wow, that's dangerous. All you need is a little bit of something horrible to happen and you're face first in the ground. Not what I wanted to do. So I've always found it best to mount the camera as I've got it mounted on here, on the end of the handlebars. Talk again, we're just about to go downhill. Continue this conversation in a minute. I've got a bit of a lump to climb up and I'm not very good at talking, climbing up lumps at the same time. So bear with me.
Gary, hello Gary, you alright?
Yes, thanks, I'm alright. Hi there. There you go, up that little lump I was talking about. Right, lump climbed. Where were we? Anybody remember? Oh yeah, new camera. Still a bit out of breath here. Lovely, it's drizzling again. But then again, that was one of the reasons I brought this camera. So it was more waterproof. Has an issue with the Insta360. To get sound to it using the microphones, you had to put a little thing on the side. Take a door off, put this little thing on the side and connect cables up to it. And that meant it wasn't waterproof. So it was always on my mind as well. Is it going to rain? Oh, if it's raining, I can't take the camera out. So another thing that was preventing me doing videos. And as you saw from the other day, this camera is certainly waterproof, no issues there. The drawback of this camera is it's only looking at me all the while, and I can't easily change the shot like I could with the 360, where you could frame the shot when you got home to do whatever you wanted, because it was a 360 camera. It took everything in. So it limits things a little bit that way. But on the other hand, it does make it a lot easier to use the Insta360 for other shots. Like when you're, oh, I'm out of breath here. Like when you're riding past, I could just get the camera out and plonk it down now. It's constantly attached to the stand, so it makes it a lot easier. The only issue I really see as a major problem with this DJI is the image stabilisation. The last video I shot was a bit jerky, a bit bumpy, but that might be down to how I had it mounted. Hopefully now I've got it mounted like this on the end of my bars, as I used to have the 360 mounted, it'll be a lot more stable. I won't know this until we get home and process the video. I think I'm going to shut up for a second, I'm right out of breath. Got a headwind and a slight hill. Well, I still haven't sold all these houses. Must be asking too much money for them. Right, a quick summary. Why did I buy this new camera? One, I was always worried that the 360 would bounce off the end of the fitting I had it on, especially on rough ground. Two, the 360 is really difficult to turn on and off with big gloves on. Three, I wanted Bluetooth audio. The 360 was difficult to get the audio too, a lot of faffing about, a lot of extras. So, does the Action 5 fill all these requirements? Well, it certainly doesn't bounce about much on the end of the handlebars like the 360 did. So that's one. It's very easy to turn on and off. That's two. Bluetooth audio, excellent, really impressed with that. That's three. It's waterproof, forgot about that bit. So, it's quite good, but the jury's out. I've still got to see if the image stabilisation comes up to what I want. Is it as good as the Insta360? No. The Insta360 is a fantastic piece of kit. It can do so much. It really is good. The limitations on the one I've got is the lens covers, plastic and easily scratched, and if you don't use them, the lenses underneath can be scratched, then can't be replaced. That's a big drawback. So there you go. Conclusion, am I happy with the Action 5? I don't know. We'll have to see what this video's like, and we can all decide together. Yes, get involved in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Do you think I'm being too fussy about worrying about holding it in my hand whilst talking to it? The camera, that is. Nothing else. Don't be rude. That was you, not me. We're almost at Stone now. Nearly time to have a pasty. Hey! Oh, Google Photos chucked some memories up the other day, and it was showing me at Stowe 2 years ago eating a pasty. So it got me thinking, how many pasties must I have had? And I thought about it, I must have had at least 100 pasties by now. That's a lot of pasties. I think quite a few of those pasties are still hanging around my waist. Whoops. So bloody speed rumps and cattle grid again. Oh, it's cutting a tree down somewhere. That climb always seems harder than it should do. Alright, here we go. Lunch. Hello mate. A large single shot latte and a pasty please. Lovely, thank you very much. Cheers. Well, another thoroughly enjoyable pasty as usual. Nice cup of coffee. They always do really good coffee there. So, time to go home. Here we go. Bloody speed ramps and cattle grid. Hurt my knee. Bloody thing. Here we go. Up those lumps again. Straight after lunch. A real good test of your digestive system. Burp. Right, hedge inspection time. Yep, seems to be a lovely hedge, good condition. A little bit sort of lacking in leaves, excellent facilities. I'll give it 10 out of 10 on TripAdvisor. One of the things I forgot to discuss earlier about the Insta360, when I was talking about the turning it on and off, I know a lot of you are now probably typing away in the comments saying, but Gary, they do a remote control. Why don't you buy one of those? And I did, and they don't work very well. Sometimes they connect, sometimes they don't. Yes, as a remote control, it really didn't seem very control-y. Sometimes it would connect and sometimes it wouldn't, which is not what you want. So, just in case you was going to have a go at me. Well, hopefully today's little ride has been interesting. Learned a little bit about cameras and why I do what I do with what I got, if that makes sense. Why I don't like to hold the stick in my hand and talk to it. I'm not pretty, but I do like my face and I don't want to end up flat on it. But on a serious note, if there's anything you're interested in and you'd like me to have a ramble or chat about, do let me know in the comments. No religion and no politics, please, because obviously people have got very strong views there and we don't want to get into that, do we? But yeah, if you'd like for me to chat about something, do let me know in the comments and I'll try and think up some waffle and try and make it interesting as well. Oh, it's looking a bit grey over there. Been lucky with the weather so far today. Hopefully I'll get back before the rain. How about that? Not all car drivers are horrible. In fact, the majority of them are very nice. Well, I think I'm going to end the video there. Nothing much else is going to happen, I don't suppose. What do you think of the new video setup? Let us know in the comments. And again, don't forget, you can ask me all sorts of things if you want. Maybe your question could be the topic of my next video. You never know. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for coming along. Not been a fantastically interesting day. Very grey. But every day out on the bike is a good day. And on that note, I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.